Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video with Blazing Corp. We are here again. We are currently in the midst of the Yoshi, was that his name? The Yoshi event, Fragment Summons. And, just thought I'd go back and do 2 summons ago, a little champion guide there on that end. So we're in the fragment summons, we're right in the thick of it. I've currently got about 65, what is that? I currently have about 65 fragments for Yoshi, so we are well on our way to finishing him up here, and we'll probably get a champion guide long after he's been gotten by all the top tier guys of the whales there, but my champion guides are a little bit more realistic to how the average player is going to be able to build him. So we are going to do a champion guide today on Iron Brago. He was our fusion event 2 fusion events ago here, and he is a fantastic champion. He's definitely a game changer for me on that end. So I've kind of got him build not in like S tier gear, because I just don't have S tier gear here, but we're kind of playing to his strengths. So tons of defense, a decent amount of speed, crit rate fully critted, and try to get as much crit damage as possible on him. But I still wanted him to land his decrease attack there as much as he could, just because I don't have the champions. Well, I have some of the champions now, but at the time I didn't. So I could, take the accuracy off of him and pump up his crit damage a little bit more, if possible, there. But I just don't have the gear just yet. But as I get it, I might try that build on him, more of an end game build, where instead of doing a crit rate gloves, we do crit damage gloves. Now, these gloves are pretty good because they do have 2 rolls of crit damage on them with 15% there, but obviously, getting something like 85 crit damage or even 65 crit damage would be pretty nice there. So, I mean, we'll look for that, for those drops from Dragon as we're running it over and over and over there at this point. But currently, we are running him with 36,000 hit points, attack 1451. That actually, this skill does not matter on Brago, since he all his attack scales on defense. So he's got almost 4,400 attack, defense here, 183 speed, 99 crit rate. So that's pretty much as good as 100, but you have that 1% chance that you will not crit there. 114 critical damage. Do wish we could get that up to 200. I just don't have the gear for that right now. Resistance 86 and 199 debuff accuracy. I think the major thing for me is, as I have no great haul right now on Spirit Affinity, but as I finish the Arbiter mission, so with one of the Arbiter missions, you got to get one of your Great Hall pieces. They're up to 10. Once that's done, I'm going to full scale go hardcore on the accuracy for all of my affinities there, and just build that out. Because if I can get 80 on him or close to it, then I can actually take some of the accuracy off some of the other artifacts, and perhaps get some more crit damage in there on that end. So that will be pretty fantastic on that end. Or I could just leave the accuracy on, kind of keep him in the same like slow damage build here, where he's really tanky, and then he's just always landing his debuff. So that is also another way you can run him. So I'm kind of running him where he's going to be landing as many debuffs as I can possibly get on him, get out of him, I should say. So that way we, for the most part, always have attack down up there between him and Madame Cirrus, or Cirrus here. Now his skills: Molten Plummeting, or Pummeling, attacks one enemy, has a 20% chance of decreasing the duration of all buffs by 1 turn. We buffed that up by another 10%, so that's a 30% chance of the duration of all buffs being decreased by 1 turn. There's a 10% damage kicker increase. Fearless Charge places a 60% increased defense buff on all allies for three turns. Then, and this is not only a self buff for him, but for everybody else. So he makes everybody else tankier. He is such a good champion because of this particular skill and his passive, which I'll be showing you momentarily. So once he increases his defense, he's on all allies for 3 turns, which is insane, on a 3-turn cooldown, which means this is always up there if you book him out. Has a 100% chance when you book him of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. Has a 100% chance of placing a stun debuff for 2 turns instead if the target is under 2 or more buffs. So not only is he good for PvE content, but he definitely can play well in PvP content as well because of this particular ability. And he's always going to use this ability on default in when he is on auto. Because his next ability, Battle Storm, attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a Provoke debuff for 1 turn. Also places a 50% decrease attack debuff on all enemies for 2 turns if Iron Brago is under an increased defense buff. So very important. He hits this, Fearless Charge, gets his increased defense, then he comes in and he smacks all enemies, and then has a chance to provoke all enemies for 1 turn while placing a decreased attack. So he places increase defense, then decrease attack, then provokes everyone. That is a mean kit, and I love it there. And then not only that, but then he bestows strength on the rest of your characters. So increases the defense of all allies by 10% of this champion's defense. So that original defense right here, the 4,400, everyone else is going to get an increase of 440. So fantastic. Now, I don't have too many leads that are defensive increases, but whenever I do, like in the Doom Tower, allow him to take the lead, he has a 34% increase aura in Doom Tower battles, which is insane. So he's going to increase that defense by 34%. Then he's going to share all that increase, which is, going to be massive there on that end with everybody else. So quite the fun time that I have with this gentleman. And he is pretty much in all my teams from Clan Boss there through Arena and whatnot. So Mastery is kind of a standard Clan Boss build here with accuracy going down into Master Hexer and Lasting Gifts, I believe that is. Yeah, Lasting Gifts there. Right, so chance to extend duration of any buff cast by this champion by 1 turn, which would be nice because if he extends, and I've seen it a few times, he extends his increased defense, and then it's a 4 turn, and it's fantastic. There, kind of can't go wrong. All right, let's bring him through some content here. So, ooh, do we have a clan boss open right now? Yes, we do. So we can do, we can do a nightmare run here. So I'm trying to build out a damage mitigation team here. So he's got what he has in terms of his sharing his defense. Bad Al is constantly putting heals on the team. You've got Nuker with self buffs from Saito, and then poisons and HP debuff. HP burn from Inaro, and then counter attack there from Skull Crusher. I think eventually we'll probably build out as we get closer to Arbiter, the final Arbiter mission where you have to do 100 million damage there in 1 day to the clan boss. We'll probably build an unkillable team there, just you know, kind of to get that particular battle finished and over with. So let's give this a shot. So I really don't do any setup with these particular guys here. I just go full auto from the beginning here, because really we're just counting on Brago to put out as much defense there, and then the two attackers just to nuke as much as we can until this thing falls apart with Bad Alcazar going down somewhere in the 20s on the 20th turn there. So yeah, this is a pretty decent team, and this is a team I've kind of come up the ranks with once I got Iron Brago and, you know, started building these guys out. I think one way to, you know, increase this team, this particular team, would be to get someone who can clear the stun on Bad Al. So like I'm building out a Doom Priest right now, pretty much specifically so she can cleanse as she cleanses everybody of one debuff. And it's a random debuff, but it kind of works in this situation because there's only one debuff on this particular turn. So she cleanses everyone of a debuff there once every turn plus passive heals. So I don't know. I'll probably take out. Yeah, I'll probably end up taking out Saito out of this group, even though he's my second biggest damage dealer, just to give it a test there if Doom Priest can let me go deeper into the clan boss turn meter or turn count there on that end. And yeah, you never know, I might take out a Gnarl too there. It just depends there. I do like having the poisons up since Bad L, his passive is going to give more. Everyone hits harder by 25% there when poisons are out. So it's always nice to have that extra poisons out there. Now, don't know if that team would work with Doom Priest doing what she's doing there. I have a feeling she might have to be really fast for it to work. And it kind of would suck if I have to keep bringing, you know, her in there and taking out 2 spots just to make sure that Battle there, who I have built for more PvE content than the clan boss, like speed tuned there. So it kind of would suck if I had to, you know, bring her in, but we'll see how it works, because if we can go deeper, if we can do, you know, 50, 60, 70 turn count there, then, you know, we can still put out the damage needed on that end, even without the HP burn and more poisons, of course. So we'll see how that works out. So the fun thing about this particular clan boss is that, you know, clan boss is fun because you can make up all these different sort of iterations. Like when I first brought Saito in, I didn't think he would go deep, but I've slowly been adding more defense to him. And then obviously the more defense I add to Iron Brago, the more that helps as well. Now on that end, I think obviously the easiest thing to do would be just make an unkillable team, call it a day there on that end, you know, really put some crazy numbers on the board. Now, I'm close to doing that. Obviously, you need the speed gear on Painkeeper and Man Eater to be able to do that comp there, and I'm really close to getting that speed gear. And once I do, I'll probably just throw an unkillable team together just to get my keys. Probably a 1 key this particular level instead of 2 keying it there right now. And then, you know, kind of try different other comps, because I do want to be able to get past that 50 turn mark there. I want to be able to say, hey, you know, do what a lot of, you know, do what do what I think would be the best in terms of like depth. Like, you know, try to get to that 100 turn mark there. Don't have the champions for it just yet, so you know I need like a double. You know, I'd love to get a Valkyrie where everyone has a counterattack, including the person putting it out there, so she could be a good upgrade to Skull Crusher. And then, you know, get a double ally protection would be nice there as well on that end. But, you know, that's things to have in the future. Obviously, as I get more and different varying clan members, people that enter my team there. So kind of excited for that as we go down the line here. But, you know, that's we can only hope we get those guys that will work with what we have right now here and see how that goes. Now, I think this poison slash, I guess, kind of nuking strategy here is pretty good. You can see Iron Brago is putting out the decrease attack pretty consistently here. And, you know, that is helping a lot with the damage mitigation there as the clan boss is doing his attacks. Now, I can see here the Master Hexer actually just went off because this went for 3 turns on attack down there, which is really nice on that end. So that should cover both AoEs plus the stun, which we always want to cover the stun because the stun's you know, one of the harder hitting abilities, and that could wipe your team pretty easily. So the best I've done on this particular level is about 22 million with this particular team. I did find once I reordered the characters there that this went a lot smoother there on that end. Oh, it looks like the stun has passed on to a Gnarl. She got her health quite low there. This might enable us to get one of the higher, this might enable us to get one of the higher damage totals. Let's see if this goes off the rails or not. Now what I could do to kind of optimize this is get everyone to speed tuned. They're in tune, but Bad L's definitely out of tune. Here I'm just running him on a 4 for 3 right now. And then getting Bad L's health proper. So he's at like 70, almost 70,000 HP there. If I could get him below 50, probably something like 45-ish, then he wouldn't be the stun target there, and we could get one of the other guys stunned up, which would be nice, of course, there, since he is the one healing everybody there. So we need him to be kind of rolling there and healing as much as possible. We kind of don't need him, or we don't want him to be stunned in this particular comp. But if I did that, I kind of wouldn't be able to use him effectively anywhere else, especially in the Doom Tower against the Doom Tower bosses there and whatnot. Now, Brago is definitely doing his job, putting out his increased defenses, which, yeah, it just fell off there. But this should be one of my higher damage totals here, so I will be kind of happy about this particular run, of course. Ooh, almost took him out there. Now, Saito's not the fastest in the world, but you know, hopefully we can... Oh, I thought he could take one more hit, but he didn't get that. Oh, there's no heals to be had, so that kind of sucks. But Iron Brago's still putting in some work So that's always a good thing. We should end up right around 21 million here. So kind of happy about that. This is one of my better scores, and yeah, I don't really go over 30 the 30 turn count too often, so I'm pretty happy about this particular run here right now. Yeah, okay, so that was one of my better runs. You can see Anarl was the MVP, 7.2 million damage, followed by Saito, 4.6, and Iron Brago in there for the win at 3.9. Bad Alcazar actually did quite a bit of work, 3.7 million. Skull Crusher obviously taking up the bow here with a crushing total of 2.1 million there. So Bad Owl, definitely one of the better here, and Iron Brago is the one, and his abilities allowed me to get to this 2 key territory for Nightmare. Alright, let's move on to the next piece here. So dungeons here, where should we go? Let's go to actually, let's go to Ice Golem's Peak. Oh, he's not actually in this team for Ice Golem's Peak here. So who should... I guess we could put him in here. Where would I put him in? Yeah, I shouldn't actually need the heals on this particular level, so let's do this. No defense, but we'll do speed lead and see if this works. So we'll do speed lead with turn meter, increase defense all over the place with passive, kind of the same kind of team setup. So you got your heals and poisons, defense, decrease defense, decrease attack, and then you have your shields that you'll need here during this level. Alright, let's give this a shot. Now this is going to be a slow burn team just because of who we have here on the team, but shouldn't be that hard to get through it. So the fun thing is that we stun all the ads, then drop the pain on them, provoke them, stun them, more pain, just control the hell out of them. And that's really what you want to be doing in this level. It's all about ad control. Each level has its own unique way of attacking it, but this level is definitely all about control. So if you can control these ads, you can have a pretty easy time of getting through this particular level without too much of a headache there at that end. Alright, so they've got their reflect damage out. So it's a good thing I don't have any, I don't have too much high crit on him there. And then shields are out. So when that damage is reflected back, the shield takes it and not the hit points. So we're slowly burning them down there, and we're done. We're on to the Ice Golem. So we should focus on the ads first, so decrease defense, decrease attack. We've got our stun out there, so it should be pretty easy to take them down here without the boss going to the point where he's going to slam us while they're still alive, because we don't want that. Yeah, that's like the worst possible thing that could happen, is him slamming us while they are still alive. Alright, so decrease defense, decrease attack. Here's the slam. He's revived. You know, one way to do this level is obviously to have, like, I could bring in someone like Blood Gorged and, you know, kind of hit them with his A3, which doesn't allow people to revive. But personally, I think it'd be kind of a waste to bring Blood Gorged in here just for that, considering, you know, we can kind of tank the hits here, and, you know, this stage is not too much of a hardship when I have, you know, so much defense on the team. Alright, so it's a slow, consistent burn here. And we're going to take down the odds again. And, you know, then we'll continue the burn, you know, as it goes. So a good thing here is with Deacon is that he is putting out leech. So that's a healing every time I hit the person that I am targeting there, if so long as they have the leech. And that's a good thing. So kind of like those passive heals, which is always fun there. So, ooh, that was a pretty hard slam. Kind of surprised that we didn't get messed up on that, to tell you the truth. That should have ignored our defense, but I guess the shield did help quite significantly with that. I don't even think the ads are going to attack there. Yeah, so that's fun. Let's see what we got. You kind of know my rule right now. I'm not taking any 5s, so I'm kind of just selling automatically. Unless for some reason that was like something spectacular, which it wasn't, so that's good. Alright, on to the next one. So I've never really liked bringing Iron Brago into this particular level here, since I kind of do have the perfect team for this level. But for right now, what I'll do is I will take an Iron Brago, we'll swap him out with Saito. So Iron Brago is kind of going to be tanking this level here, and we'll see if we can do it. You can already see here he's you know, putting out the provokes, the decrease attacks here, while Deacon does his thing, and so does Bad Al with poisons, and there his ability to increase turn meter and increase turn meter for Deacon. Yeah, if you haven't watched my video already on Deacon Armstrong, he is fantastic. S tier quality epic there on this end. Yeah, so I really like the, you know, kind of the team that we put together here. Iron Brago, Bad Al, Deacon, Madame Cerise, and also Royal Guard. Royal Guard is just here for the boss. He's not here for the ads. Here, Iron Brago is here in this particular instance to keep Royal Guard alive as much as possible there, and still provide a little bit of the damage output. Not as much as Saito would bring, but still a good amount of damage output. So you just gotta love when you see like a boss's health part just dramatically go down when that takeout skill or takedown skill comes around. Alright, so Dragon's up, you know, got hit, we're all stunned. we got out of it quickly, and now we're going to continue going back to smashing. Alright, so Bad Owl's cleansing. Slow burn with the way I have him built here. Any of you mid gamers or early gamers out there, you don't have to build your champions with the craziest stats right off the bat. More times than not, that is going to set yourself up for failure. Here you do want to have that slow and steady group there, so that they make sense there if they do get pulled back in. Here it does make sense in terms of they're just not having too much damage output, so that way your team is too squishy and you are likely there to kind of die more often, or have like random, especially if you're doing like an overnight, have a lot of wasted energy because it's not 100% comp. So we're kind of done there. I wonder what we got. Ooh, crit rate, some HP, kicker, 6-star. I guess I'll keep here for right now. And let's go to the next one. Now we could do, well, we just did Dragon here, so let's do Fire Knight. Now he's not that great for Fire Knight, however I do have him on my normal Fire Knight team here to get through the content before the boss, since he only has a one hitter on his pummeling. Alright, so, but he has a decreased attack, and then he does put up a passive defense, so he does make everyone a lot more buffier. Alright, let's go. Alright, so we've got Iron Brago here, doing his thing with the rest of the team. I do like that he has that powerful A2 with a good multiplier on it. So these guys, even if they do take a turn there, like he's hopefully going to be the one to be attacked because he has such high defense there, and also because he's standing there outside of the zone. So finishing this up here, then we're going to roll up to the second wave. And main thing, debuffs right here, and just slow burn them to death. Alright, so the burn continues. Oh man, look at the amount of debuffs on that Lich there. Alright, so now we are at the main event. Put up a shield with his little freaky eyeballs there and the spikes. And we probably will not be able to tear it off this first go around there. But the second go around should be fine. Oh, we are just barely able to turn it off, so that was interesting there. So we should be able to rip it off this turn around here. Now the main thing is getting Bad Owl to place his poisons and get decreased speed on him ASAP, so that we can slow down his turn meter. Yeah, so I'm hoping that when they bring out the next couple of levels, that big patch that they're gonna bring out. I don't know when it's gonna be, but that big patch where they're gonna extend all the levels on the main dungeons there. So kind of excited for that there, because hopefully we'll get like a much higher rate of getting 6-star gear. Yeah, so the key to this particular level is Bad Alcazar, but you know, keeping these guys in check and alive is Iron Brago's job. So definitely something cool on that end. So the slow burn continues. And obviously, we're using the poisons to kind of hit him like that so he doesn't get back as much health as he normally should. Obviously, having a lure here to kind of, as soon as we break off the shield, just keep him forever out. There would be nice. She just doesn't work for this affinity too well here. So, you know, affinity breaking gear is going to be something I'll be farming, so we can put a full entire set on Allure and make this stage so much easier and so much faster than it currently is. Alright, so kind of exciting. We should be finishing up in the next minute or so. And there you go. Alright, so legendary gear, speed, crit rate, HP. That is actually not too bad. It just sucks that is on a Fury set here. We'll probably end up using it for one of the lower tier champions that I have. Alright, back to the map. Let's I think that's kind of it for this. So we've kind of had you got a good overview of what Iron Brago does in PvE content. Here, let's see if we can find an opponent here to kind of showcase his skills. I really can't stand all these speed leads here. Probably get crushed here. So these guys are pretty close. Obviously, he's not going to be the right affinity for these guys here, and they have an increased defense in all battles. You know what? Let's give this a shot. Well, at least you can see, you know, how he reacts here. So he's going to do his A2 here before he does his A3, which is a, you know, provoke. Or he might just not get to go because Ethos goes instead. Oh, well, at least he got to smack Trunda around. Alright, so I'm sure he's really happy about that. Alright, so that kind of does it for this particular video. If you have any champions that you've seen or you want guides on, just let me know. As I get champions and slowly build them out, I will be putting out champion guides. My kind of rating for Iron Brago is A++. There, he is definitely taking me from kind of a struggling mid-tier, you know, waiting for better bosses up to, you know, early end game is my thought, since I have beat Doom Tower. So I am hoping that makes me end game, but kind of hard to tell at the current moment. If you have any questions, like, subscribe, comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts on Iron Brago. Have a fantastic day, guys, and stay safe and healthy out there. And we'll chat again next time. Let's chat then.